Okay, let me have it.
How was it 2 weeks ago?
Oh, it was brutal.
What was? Who keeps putting you in charge of that? Ugh.
Like, all you gotta do is click this button. The button doesn't seem to work very well. I don't know.
Oh,
Podcast 195.
it's the button.
It's the button.
Should-
Yeah. How are you guys doing? We are it is just cresting the end of the bowling season. Lack of motivation is hitting high.
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
I was thinking, like, tell me you're a bowler in May without telling me you're a bowler in May when you're like, half the country's in Ottawa for YBC Nationals one weekend, and then the very next weekend, everyone's in Red Deer, and then everyone's like back in a different city, and then there's Pro League, and then half the other country leaves for Ottawa again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Quebec Classic is in there, and
then the Quebec Classic, and then Youth Challenge Nationals.
We need to build in a month into this like bowling season where you're just not allowed to schedule anything. No,
Fair.
It's over.
It was called August, and then tour finals and club tour happened.
Yeah, and then you throw a beef bowl right after that, and then like the. Oh.
It's a year-round sport now.
It is overwhelming.
Anyways, we support five-pin bowling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have sports like baseball and golf to distract ourselves.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, golf. PGA Championship last weekend?
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't either, but I did hear someone got arrested.
I was like, didn't Scheffler
got it? Tiger Woods 2.0, baby.
Yeah. Big yikes. Big yikes.
Did he really do anything wrong?
Well, it sounds like he assaulted a police officer.
Well, the police officer held on to his vehicle. That's not his fault, right? He didn't know.
Well, he tried to push through the barricade instead of waiting. All I know.
The press release was the police officer was waving him through. That's all I know.
Yikes.
So I listened. I drove to Vancouver this weekend and I drove back and I listened to like MLB radio the entire way home. But they had an interview of the guy who was the only like reporters that were there when it happened. It just happened to be next to it. And he was talking about it. And it seems like a pretty wild story. It doesn't seem like it's that bad, but still. I think it's amazing that this guy got arrested, got out, got to the course. He did his stretches in a holding cell. Like, legit, gets to the course, warms up real quick, and then shoots a 67.
Some of the internet jokes were really solid. I enjoyed a lot of the memes that emerged.
The Tiger Woods one was hilarious.
There was one that was like, whatever county they were in, their rehab program is really successful. Look at how much money their latest offender has made.
I love the one where Tiger Woods is like going out for like a hand slap. It says "my big dog," and I'm just like, oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny. We're all terrible people, but whatever.
Jeff would like to know, where's our missing human?
Owen.
Apparently, he has more important things to do.
Yeah, like the
Edmonton 5 bit AGM is tonight, so he isn't on. So you guys are in for a good show today. Maybe. Zero guarantees on that.
Possibly. What else we got? Fantasy baseball. Yes, Jeff Young. We all got the inside joke. You skunked him. Great day. Great day.
How is everybody doing in that?
I don't want to talk about it this week.
How are we doing it? Well, that's not 100% your choice, so get over it. Last.
Not last.
That's why.
Top half.
I'm not.
Top half. Top half.
Carrie is a half point behind Katie for last.
Ooh.
Close. Like, even from like second to 12th is a 14 and a half or 14-point difference. And first is 12 and a half points up on second. So,
I'm gonna wait till the All-Star break before I start making moves.
okay. I mean, that's a strategy.
I'm only half a point out. Like, that's not bad. We're not
You
even
got lots
looking
of
at it.
wiggle room.
Yeah, that's
Lots of
true.
wiggle
I mean, you have made playoffs in our other leagues without touching your lineup the entire year somehow.
I
It's
feel
crazy.
like this draft wasn't the best draft, so I am
Yeah.
risking it. Yeah.
I mean, there is that too. Yeah.
How
Do
are you
we?
guys doing in fantasy golf though?
Oh, I'm
Oh.
not last. I'm second last. How many
Number
more weeks of
one,
that
baby.
garbage do we have?
Till September sometime.
Oof.
Like 3 more months. 4 more
Oh
months.
my god. Oh my god. Oh. It's great though. I'm having a great time with it.
Fair. Were they doing
Yeah.
warm-ups in the parking lot though? Like, we need to know.
It's just lunges.
Who warms up for bowling?
So
Ugh.
you're gonna have to start.
Yeah, just wait, Tyler. I'm still holding off on the stretches, but like, look at Sly. Sly was out there doing all sorts of stretches. He's basically doing. He was doing like Warriors pose down in the pit.
Well, it is Sly.
He was one of the older competitors this weekend too, or last weekend, wasn't
Yep.
he? Starting to
It's
show.
like anytime Carey makes a cut, he's one of the older ones too now.
It's like
Yeah.
any time Gary makes a cut. That was like 2 slams in one.
I've only missed one cut in like 3 years, so give me a break here, Ty.
Yeah, I'm
Been
just
really
saying
good
you're the
lately.
old one all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Bill,
It
it means
is
you
good.
have a great taste in entertainment and maybe a poor choice in friends. Because they should be wanting to join you.
This is the best Wednesday night show there is.
Super organized, very reliable, always on time,
Riveting. Just riveting.
especially between the months of like May and September.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with obviously we'll have a few national podcasts, but like what else are we gonna do? We're gonna have to come up with some material.
Well, we're gonna have one big one. We're 5 away from 200.
5 away. Big day, big day.
Put your suggestions in the comments.
Yeah,
What
let us
kind of
know.
dumb things should we do?
The wheel of hate once again.
Mean tweets.
So
Ooh,
good.
mean tweets could be good.
The mean tweets are always so good. Yeah. Let us know. Let us know what you guys want for 200. We'll put on a big show of debauchery and you'll love it. You won't have a choice.
Everyone
I'm selling 5-pin universe. Who wants to buy it? Because I'm out.
Holy cow.
Everyone gets 30 seconds to say their hottest take. No debate.
They all have to be Newfoundlanders though, because they can get their entire sentence out in that time period onto the next person done.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't sing at karaoke. I'm not singing live for anybody. Not happening.
That's not what duets are.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
I have no idea then.
You're showing your
I'm old.
age. Oh no!
Oh no!
That's
Yeah.
so bad.
I'm glad Dexter pointed that out.
Thanks for that piece of gold there, Jason.
Not hip. Don't know.
Let's get into bowling.
Should we bring in our special guest?
Yeah.
Bring him in. 1 second.
Goodbye.
1 second. Oh, hi,
Well,
Ty.
hello, Tyler.
Oh my god, hi.
Glad you could join us today.
Thanks so much for having me on.
How
First
is,
and foremost,
yeah.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
It's awesome to
On
see
what?
you win
On what?
on winning the Heritage Traditional.
Oh, I thought maybe you were talking about Next Gen winning season 3 of the
Oh yeah,
5PL.
congratulations on that. Sorry, congratulations on Open Singles.
Or
guess,
Masters, Alberta Masters team.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Pretty
It's
good
gonna
season.
be the Tyler Titgat show. like, we just bring you on every week and talk about you.
Not every week.
Freaking.
There was at least 2 shows where Parker and Anthony were on, and they were the stars.
There.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you were the backup star.
I was a host of the podcast.
You were backup star.
Runner up.
It's been a good season, yes. If that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah,
it's got to be between me and Dexter, I would assume.
Yeah, it's got to be real close. I've only missed a handful of them, I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with the Heritage Traditional, Ty. Show up Thursday and shoot 2,300.
Yeah, so moved cities
Who does
Wednesday night. Moved cities Wednesday night, drove up Thursday morning. I don't know, threw a 5-inch star line and said good enough. It was, I don't know, like for anyone that was there, they knew that Shelby had treated the lanes like each morning. So they were slick, but it kind of worked in my favor because I could it forced me to stay slow. So it was easy to not overthrow, which I think is a big detriment to Red Deer, is you can't force that shot. So I don't know. It was one of those shifts where I didn't really feel like I shot 2,300 because I didn't have a 350 or a 360. I think my high was 330. So it was just kind of one of those nice, easy, consistent shifts where you're I knew I was shooting a good ball, and then when I punched, I was man, I know what I did wrong. I'm gonna not do that again.
Let's talk about that. So you're saying the approaches were super fast. Obviously they were being treated every morning. How do you guys feel about having fast approaches in the morning, then by the afternoon shift it was slow because they're not retreating it? Do you is there any better way to do it? Because if you don't treat it, it's probably heavy in the morning and then it probably gets unbearable by the evening.
Yeah, I don't think it's any worse than oil drying out over a tournament. It's more rapid, you notice it faster, but you have to adjust no matter what. I don't think the slide really changes pinfall necessarily.
I agree, and I kind of disagree with that. I find that pinfall changes your approaches and your heaviness of your approaches and it changing will adjust your aggressiveness, right?
For
So
sure.
as soon as it's less slippery or as soon as it is more slippery, I find that I can't drive as hard because I'm going to go forever. But as soon as it's heavier, I could drive harder into my shot and I could be more aggressive in my shot, and that will change pinfall a little bit. But I don't mind either. I didn't mind this slipperiness. It did dissipate relatively quickly. I prefer it on the heavier side. That's just me. As long as it's consistent, I don't really care a whole lot. I just don't like the feeling of it. It's an odd feeling. It is it's different. It's not like you're on a normal slippery approach. It's just that you could feel a film on it and it just feels weird. And then it dissipates and it's fine. But it is yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Len. I had a hard time keeping balance. It felt like you're over sliding almost every shot. So you you had to stay slow. But even staying slow, you still want to be aggressive at the end of the shot. And then I was having a hard time finding balance in the morning shifts.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
for me, like instead of thinking like when it is heavier, I totally agree. Like I can definitely be more aggressive, but in that case, I knew I had to stay slow, which meant I had to like finish my shot more and have more like lift and rotation through like my fingers. So I guess that for me is like where I changed instead of thinking like, oh, be aggressive with your legs. It was like finish the shot with your legs and like lift with your legs instead of like drive forward. But I don't know. That was
Yeah,
just how I like
yeah,
adjusted
no, for
to it. I
sure.
totally agree. Like it does feel so strange, especially when you take those first few slides and you just like cannot stop.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just a different feeling from any other slippery approach. It's just interesting, but it does
Yeah.
dissipate, and then it becomes normal, and it's okay. Um, how do you guys feel about playing on just the high or the low side for the first shift?
That one I would say was maybe not as kind to everyone else. When the rest of the tournament has to play the entire house, the first shift should probably also play the entire house. If you look at the Beef Bowl last year, even though they only had, I think it was 6 lanes, like 3 sets,
yeah,
they moved as a group, and I think you guys have done it at
Mhm.
TPC too. You move as like a pod
Yeah,
instead of just cycling through your lanes. I know Red Deer obviously is pushing to keep some lanes open if they have open bowling, but
yeah,
I think in
especially
the
when you have the
sense
two
of
sides. I understand that for sure.
yeah, in the sense of like fairness for the tournament, we for sure should have played both sides. You can't deny that.
yeah. I think just for scoring relevance across the whole thing, like to keep it even. I don't know if the scoring discrepancy was that much because how many out of that first shift made the cut? Liam was the cut line, right? So
Yeah,
4. That's not really.
it's not
They
any
really
Four.
different
didn't
than
get a
any of the
benefit.
other.
But how many entries in that shift?
24.
So higher
24.
percentage for
That's a
sure.
that's a massive percentage.
Yeah, but still, it's still only 4, right? Like it's not like 10 of them came out of that shift. It's not that big of a
Yeah,
scoring difference.
I think for
Like
me it was like
high guy was Ty, and then low guy
yeah,
was Liam.
I think for me seeing that it was like I shot 2300 and then Sly was the only one to pass me at 2370 and then I know Michaela was pretty close. I think she was 2301. But other
Yeah,
than that, like even by game 8 in any of the other shifts, no one really like when I was watching, there wasn't a whole lot of people that I was like, "Ooh, they're going to catch me." So that's where I felt like the scoring was a lot different. Like any other tournament, you're sitting there every shift going, "Oh god, like these 3 or 4 people could all take that top qualifier spot."
there. Yeah, but like top score was 2380. Sly, right?
2374, I think.
Yeah, 79. Yeah,
79. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
It is
Yeah,
like our only center that has the 2 sides. So obviously on the tour, they are in a different physical environment. So there's going to be different scenarios there.
Yeah,
Kind of similar to like St. James having the den, if you want to
yeah,
call it that. Like I feel like the den is way different than the first 10.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
I
agree
agree
with
with
that.
that. Definitely the high side. I scored better on the high side, but I know as a majority, everybody says the low side plays better. But
Every year that I make the cut, it seems like I'm always on the high side. No matter what happens, I'm always on the high side. But it was and like if you look at it, it was a grind on that too. It was an absolute grind for that. But that being said, like I struggled a little bit on Sunday. I didn't play all that bad, but like I played the doubles on Thursday and lit the high side up. So
Mhm.
scoring's there. So
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
I played slightly better on the high side in my second pod, but then I also had like a 774 double on the low side. So I don't know. I think they're pretty similar. I think you get stranger breaks on the high side. Like you have to work a little bit harder on the high side, but I don't think it's like worse, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a little less predictable.
Yeah. Little like a few more blow throughs, some weird chop offs, whereas like the high side or the low side's like a little bit more true.
I'm gonna have to find some new partners for Thursday events because I've been backpacking a few people lately. The ROC, thank you. We didn't win the doubles. Who did end up winning the doubles again?
Len Ansett
Uh,
and Colton Uswa.
Yeah.
That's right. They crushed
I
it.
only remember that because
Yeah, they had like 450 bonus points.
425.
Yeah, they won
Yeah.
a lot of their bonus points in that final pod or round, I guess.
What's with this comment?
I'm assuming the high side, low side.
I would like some elaboration on that comment. That's different.
Cindy's
Do we-
dropping
Do we-
sprinkles of information.
Talk about do we want to go touch on the doubles?
Yeah, of course. It's not only the Tyler show, it is the Heritage recap.
Exactly.
All right. Where are we at here? I don't know what my computer will do right now. Let's see what I can find.
Do you want me to
Let's take
share it?
that one. Is that right? Is that sharing?
I got it. There you go.
Perfect.
So tiny.
Oh, it moved it. All right, here we go. Expand, 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 expand. Is that better?
It's great.
All right. So A division. Daryl and Kevin were like great the entire time.
Yeah, they were on fire. After watching that, I thought they were like gonna go all the way without a doubt.
Yeah,
They also did shoot a 392 in Game 7, though. So, like,
yeah.
were they
Yeah.
really that great?
I did not see that when I predicted them to be the winner on our little commentating sesh.
When you have that many bonus points already sitting there, like you don't need the extra points.
Yeah,
They could have shot 90 and still made it. So good for them. They played good. Daryl and Kevin, Justin and Curtis, and then Tim and Tommy moved on to the next round from that side. Tim and Tommy will just won a whole boatload of match points, eh?
Yeah.
they were
Watching
winning
them-
close matches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were for sure the side that it was like every game you're like, ooh, this isn't a super great one. Like they're gonna have to win, and then they would win it, and you were like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely the difference here. I mean, even
yeah. Well, they had 75
close to the two.
more bonus points than Justin and Curtis, but they still missed them by 15.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I did really enjoy the doubles this year. It was fun. It was the first time I got to play it, so it was actually really good.
Yeah.
On the B side, me and Greg, Colton and Len, and then Ryan and Carrie moved on.
Yeah, you guys also won a lot of bonus points there.
Yeah, I think we lost 2 individual matches, and that was it.
Yeah, because you beat me by 5 and Greg beat Ryan by 3. We lost 150 points by 8 pins. Like, ouch.
Yeah, a win's a win.
That's huge. 150 pins right there.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's like the dangerous part of this doubles is it's like not only the individual match but like the team total match. Like you can lose a lot of points in one game.
Yeah, absolutely. That side was like crazy good.
It was looking like way closer. Like Carrie, you and Ryan only moved on by like what is that?
60,
60.
50, 52?
Yeah.
52.
52, yeah. And then even like just behind them, like it was another like 80, which is like a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 wins, yeah.
Yeah. It was good. Oh, is page 3? Oh, it is all right here. No.
All
What
in
is
one.
this?
Yep. That
Nope.
is your final 6.
Yeah, but Oh,
Not
that's just
sorted.
the rankings. Yeah, that's
Oh,
moving
that was
into the
right.
final round. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The seating position.
Okay. So then, I gotta do this all over again. I really wish I had a second monitor. Oh,
You're just giving the people a close-up view today.
yeah, absolutely. And... Please hold.
Should we answer some questions while he's loading?
Do that.
Sure.
Not many. Hi, Kathy.
That was it, Ty?
That's all I got. We're not talking about bakers. Interesting. Tell us how you really feel, Ryan.
Want me
Did
to share
anyone
my
get-
screen?
Nope, found it. We're good.
Okay.
Can you see it? No, I gotta put it in there yet. It just opens another window. Oh no, it's there. Okay, good, perfect. We're doing so mediocre.
Mid, as the children would say.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. The final standings for the finals. Again, yeah, Colton and Len just won a whole bunch of their matches.
Yeah.
Like they were far and away the best match points.
And I mean, they also bowled pretty solid. Like their low game was a 493.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like very consistent.
If you look at it, it looks like most of the pinfalls were probably pretty close. It is literally in order of who won the most match points.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's really interesting, actually. Because, like, you guys, Carrie, you guys would have had more pinfall than they did.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. We were the only team that outscored them.
Yeah.
They just won more matches, which was obviously the point of the bonus system, and they won the right ones.
Absolutely. So congratulations to those two.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a good payout. That paid for my whole weekend.
Perfect. That's why we play those things, right?
Yep.
That's what like the Thursday night event should accomplish. If you
Yeah.
do well there, you're kind of like free riding for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Bakers?
Sure.
Why not?
Oh. Let's see how this is going to work.
It's PDF. Yikes. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
What did you forget?
Our PA friends and a borrowed Reginonite. Reginonian? What do we call a person from Regina?
A Reginaman.
I don't know, man.
They won. They played really good. Won
They
by
did.
51 pins.
Yeah, they had a huge last game. Or last three? Yeah, like 1,000 triple to finish.
Yeah.
It was really good. Again, that was really tight too. I know our team was like sitting in first until like the last 5 games, and then we dropped out. And it was just
Is that what we call all people from Regina as a Revenger? I like that.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
I like it. And then the King fits. That's Eric, Curtis, Brandon, and
Barry.
right, Barry. Okay, yeah. I think why Ryan doesn't want to talk about the doubles, or sorry, the Bakers. We were having a good time.
Look at your first 7 scores. Let's just focus in on that.
Well, okay. So there's a story. There's a story that goes with this. So if you look at our scores, exactly. The first seven games, all of the games ended in a 0. That became a theme for us. We decided that all of our games needed to end in a 0. So game 7, I'm playing 10, and I go strike punch, and now I have a dilemma. If I pick a pin, we're off the 0. If I don't pick a pin and throw it in the ditch, we're still on the 0s. So we had a team meeting, and we decided in the ditch was the right call. So we did it.
And what did you miss the money by?
1 point.
Ooh. There's your lesson, kids. Never throw a ball away.
One singular point. Who would have thought after 20 games of Bakers, like that would be the difference? But here we are. And honestly, I still don't feel bad about it. Like we were committed. We were committed, and we followed through on it. And it cost us in the end. But you win some, you lose some. Yeah, go away, Tyler.
I'm assuming Tyler's team just scooped in for the last pay spot.
Yep, they sure did. Team Lawson.
Bride's up. Oh, I forgot I fouled. Yeah, I fouled too.
Oh, right.
I don't know if I was actually over or not, but like it went off twice, and I was like the second time I was like, yeah, I'm not taking it off again. So it's staying there.
And no one else in the building fouled all weekend.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, you know what? Fine, maybe I did. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. So I left it because that was the morally sound thing to do.
There we go. The proper play.
Yeah, but we're playing odds here, though. We're odds, Barker. Odds. The odds of me sparing it, 0.1%. If that. The odds of me throwing it in the ditch if I want to, pretty high. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. That's a good point. Thanks for having my side. So there's Bakers for you. She got home.
A debauchery, as always.
Yeah, as always.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Got a song stuck in her head for the rest of the weekend.
Before we move into the Sunday finals, we should talk about some highlights. We had Darcy Latendra throw his first 400 in 25 years.
Yeah.
It was 416. That side was electric when he was throwing it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't make the cut with that massive score, but pretty cool.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. We had Stacy and Michaela both make the cut.
Okay, can we talk about that? So Stacy and Michaela make the cut and then have to play each other game 1. And then Matt Wallace and his kid made the cut at Quebec Classic, and they had to play each other first match.
Oh, really?
Oh, and Quebec Classic, that is 3-game matches?
It's pods. No, it's pods.
Oh, it's pods. Okay, you know what? Yeah. At the very least, that's way better than having it just head-to-head. You know? That's way better. Yeah. And, like, honestly, I think it's probably better that they face each other game 1, too. I think that's much better than facing them game 7.
100%.
So, not ideal, but could be far worse.
No, it's just a call out to the Ansets that they're up next.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to make that cut soon.
And we might as well kind of go over their match. Stacy beat Michaela.
She did.
Oh.
There was some fireworks. I heard some rumblings. I was in that pod. I was walking around listening to the people. And I heard like Michaela was like full on like, this is a competitor now. She wasn't talking to her mom. She wasn't
like stone cold the whole morning.
Yeah. Love it.
Stay safe, Kathy. Go to the basement.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Oh no. Yeah.
Okay, sending good energy out to Ontario.
Yeah.
Please stay safe. My goodness. I'm just like watching the viewer count now. I'm like, oh God, I hope it doesn't go down just to 1.
And then we had Brittany DaCosta
Brittany
made
making
it.
her first
Yeah.
cut.
Yep. Liam Landers taking the 31 spot.
Oh man, he was like on edge that entire day too. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't think he was in. I didn't think he was in. Like the way things were looking, and then like everything kind of tumbled the right way at the end. And it was just so cool to see his reaction to how much it meant to him. Those are the
Yeah.
moment, and he shot 320 his last game to get to that mark too.
He bowled good.
He
Like
did.
all of it. He kicked my ass Sunday morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys
Started
did
with
the
like
first match.
He started with like a 6-bagger, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I didn't get to see anything that happened on that side, so
Yeah. And Liam has been bowling for 6 years. That's cool. I didn't know
That
that.
is
Wild.
awesome.
Good for him.
So he
Robbie
basically
Wolfson.
started bowling when he started working there.
Yeah, probably.
That's really cool.
Robbie Wolfson came out of the consolation event.
Yep.
Took down Marcello in the final.
Yeah, that
Could
was
you
a good
imagine if we had
final too.
all three of the Sanderson, Weber, Juricic combo? That would have been fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Marcello did beat Rich out of consolation, so
He did, yeah.
So many family battles.
it's neat to see
It
that
is.
family playing more and Stacy's playing more and stuff like that. So it's really good. I like it.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday. We
I
should.
can share my screen.
Oh, that'd be great.
I know you were struggling.
Almost like it would have been the easier solution from the start.
Oh man.
Look how fast that was.
Wow.
At least I could do the intro. Jesus.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah. Okay.
So pod number one.
They really didn't want to face each other, eh?
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, they both did get knocked out of that first pod. Michaela finishing
was
fifth,
close.
Stacy finishing sixth.
Michaela
I
made a
myself
push
had a
for it.
Yeah,
missed
she
the
threw
cue,
really good.
unfortunately. Yeah.
I played horrible Sunday morning. So
It was a
Move
little
on.
rough to watch.
Tracy Messer made it out of there. Adam Weber, Stone Cold Adam Weber made it out of that pod.
Yeah, there's some big scores.
Lonnie Akers makes it out. Brandon Hagen, unfortunately, had a rough Sunday morning as well. And Jaden Alligator made it. Algier, as I learned how to pronounce his name. several times.
Algier.
Algier, yeah.
The
Straight
senior
after
boy.
exactly. Directly
Singles,
from
yeah.
winning senior boys singles straight to Heritage. That's pretty cool.
And then the second pod, the Ryan Edwards pod. We had Colton Uswa, unfortunately finishing sixth. Lenny Anseth, stalwart Lenny Anseth, making it out. Brett Mapstone falling just a bit shy. Threw a big last game.
Yeah, he made a push there. I got to play with him all day. He struggled the first four, but he made a big push at the end.
Yeah. Will Thompson winning that pod. Derek Orrin just missing out. Brad Wilton having a little bit of a rough start, but finished strong.
Yeah. Oh, and a tie.
Tyler McLean. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
Tyler
looked
McLean
like
and Colton.
one of those pods where like the top three kind of there were really close, and then kind of a bit of a gap, and then another really close bunching. Like even Brad and Derek were only 4 apart. I think Brett was only 30 ahead of them.
And then Mr. Mark Johnstone making out of that pod.
Yeah, pretty solid, especially with like a 191. Like those games can be detrimental.
Well,
Yeah, the
back to
first-
back 190s.
Yeah, he had what is that, 620? 620 for his first 3, and then lit it up the next
Yeah,
4.
And then a 900 3.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, basically 1,200 for his last 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Question.
Ooh, that's not how you spell that name.
Figured.
Yeah, there is no E in that.
I mean, that's the way it should be spelled, but it's not.
Okay, growing up with him, I think that Bradley with an E looks so weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it blows my mind every time I'm like, why is there an extra letter? It's so unnecessary.
Yeah, that's funny.
Coming out of this pod number 3, Bradley Tickat's pod, that Sylvain just missed. Robbie Wolfson, consolation winner, wins the
Crushed
pod.
it.
Yeah, he played great,
Dexter.
and he
Huge.
always found ways to win matches too.
Well, he won all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy.
Wild.
Dexter with 3 wins, just missing out in 5th. Missing by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
And
throw
again,
a ball in the ditch?
I did
Keep it
not.
at his- Oh, okay.
I did
You
not.
learned. You learned from
Yeah,
Friday night.
I did. Yeah.
Scott Clausen, recipient of that 4th place. Alex Amir, not having a great Sunday morning. Brittany, struggle a little bit, finished 7th. Greg DeGrazia making out in 2nd, and Aaron Arndt.
Can we like
Previous
poor Brittany though?
Heritage.
Like 330, 296, 331, 304, 388.
Yeah, they beat up on her. You guys are mean.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that vicious.
Makes her first cut, and you guys just like no kindness.
Alex is the one gentleman. The two
And
two
Sylvain.
French, yeah, the two French
French.
gentlemen. Very, very nice of them. Very cordial.
Greg solid there though, like 388, 330 to get into that.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, he was like we're kind of in the middle of the pack, and then his last two just really separated him.
Not weird to see that at Heritage, though, for
No.
Greg. In the last pod, Shelby Crest pod, Danny Bear making the trip out from Regina, kind of a last-minute decision, makes the cut. Unfortunately, doesn't make it out of the pod. Anthony Street, our club tour champion, didn't make it out of the pod. Brandon Mansell from Winnipeg makes it. Connor Levitt wins the pod.
A lot of yellow
Look at
there,
these.
eh?
Whole
He
list.
went on a tear.
Yeah. And I mean, Connor shoots 1,050 for his
Yeah.
first 3.
Yeah.
And you
And
wonder
wins
why
all.
we say the high side scores better.
The low side.
Yeah, sorry, the low side. Yeah, like that's crazy.
Timmy just missing out, finishing 5th. Kevin Holdsworth taking that 4th spot. Tyler getting out of the pod, survived. Also 4 300s, that'll do her.
Yeah.
And Liam having a great start against Tyler and then had a rough finish that day.
Yeah,
He
no
decided-
nerves in his first game, and then they showed up, I think.
Maybe he needed the nerves.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe he settled
Possibly.
in. Yeah. Good for him, though.
Moving on to our 16s. Can I make that bigger? That's probably big as it gets. There we go.
Ooh.
You can hide that piece on the left, and then you're good.
How do you do that?
The little hamburger button in the top left corner.
Oh,
There you go.
look at that. I'm learning new things every day.
Doesn't know what a TikTok duet is. Doesn't know how to work PDF readers.
We're all singing.
Whoa!
probably-
Shut up.
He probably thought that it was an actual hamburger.
I looked for it.
He did.
Brandon Mansell making out of that pod. Mark ending his day in 6th. Kevin Holdsworth
Finished on a
having a
340.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finished with a 340.
Yeah, a big
Wow.
swing for Kevin. Like a really strong start to the day, and then not able to
Yeah.
put some stuff together.
You know, kudos to him. Like that guy's had so many like health problems in the last couple of years. I mean, he's hardly bowled at all this year because of how much his body has been in pain. So I mean, kudos for him to
Yeah.
get where he was.
Totally.
Yeah. Lonnie Akers making it out of there. Greg DeGrazia ending his day 5th in the pod. Will Thompson walking
Won
away
2
with
pods
that one.
in a row. Yeah.
Len Anseth once again squeaking in.
Just finds a way, man.
Yeah. And then Robbie, our consolation winner, finally ends his day. Top 16 though.
Yeah.
That was kind of the point in the day too, where you're starting to watch like the WCBT points trickle
Yeah.
out, and like people were really starting to like, okay, this person needs to finish this position or higher, and this position, or like this person needs to win so many matches. Like it was really getting close.
Yeah, exactly. Then we have our last 8 here in the top 16. Connor getting through again.
How
Obviously
much did he
playing
make
really
it
well.
by?
We will
Just out
find
of
out.
curiosity.
By
1970.
56.
Okay.
So that 328 and the win, like
Yeah, it's a
takes
huge
away that win,
huge
and
finish
you're
to
only
get in
getting in
there.
by 6 there.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy had a good day, had a good first pod to get out, but unfortunately has a rough
Just
afternoon.
another guy
Mhm.
that shows up at events and puts in work and is continually trying to get better. It's nice to see those people break through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alligator through in third. Aaron
Yeah.
Arndt's day comes to an end in fifth. Really solid play though. Two bad games.
And not able to get the win on those games, right? And those are the ones that could have made a big difference.
Yeah. I mean, Jaden, the 191 to 201 against Jaden.
Yeah.
That's you get an extra 11 points there. You're in.
Oh, and then the player of the year finally showing his teeth a little bit. Wins a pod.
What do you mean? It's like no different than my first pod. It's almost the same score.
It's who you're playing against.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Scotty Clausen, the Kingpin, finishes 6th in that one. Tyler
I had
McLean.
way less 300s in that pod. I settled down.
You
I said,
triggered
"Whoa."
him hard. Just
Yeah, like-
settle down over there, okay? It's all right. This whole show's about you already. Just chill out.
And Adam Weber, once again, getting through, finishing strong.
Yeah, it seems like it's the people that put up big finishes are the ones that make it through.
So it always is in Red Deer, right? Like it's
Yeah.
your top 2 in a pod. Usually you know who it's going to be. And then it's the 3, 4, 5, 6 spots that are always like super close, and sometimes 7, sometimes 8.
Mhm.
And it's whoever can finish on those big games.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, exactly. Semi-final group, top 8. Ty moving through with second, 22-40, kind of the same spiel.
All about consistency.
Will Thompson winning another pod.
He won every one of his pods, did he not?
So far, yeah.
Like, the first 3 anyways, yeah.
Adam Weber's day comes to an end.
Yeah.
Brandon Mansell, solid play. Lost the big match here against you, Tyler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after
329.
Lonnie pissed me off.
I mean, he really didn't have that bad of a game. He had a 230 and a 243.
Yeah. But he only won 2 matches.
Yeah.
And
he
that was
lost.
Oh, sorry.
He loses by 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was kind of that one guy that, like, I know you guys commented on it in the live stream. That's like the whole pod, you're not looking at Brandon as someone on the outside. You're like, yeah, he's probably good. He shot a 390 and won. Like,
yeah,
you can't count. Like, you can't think that guy's going to be on the outside. And then all of a sudden, the last game, you're like, oh, what happened? Like,
yeah.
Where did we miss?
Like, Lonnie's finish obviously was massive, but this win against Adam with the bonus, and Brandon didn't have a bad game. He just didn't really have an answer to Jaden, and he ended up missing by 25.
Yeah.
100%.
He was so solid.
Mm-hmm.
Len Anseth's day come to an end. Solid play. Didn't really had 2 lower games, but played really good. 20-42, just only 3 wins.
I'm pretty sure he changed his shoes like 7 times.
Yeah.
Shoes, balls, everything. Underwear, socks, shirts, attitude, everything.
Jaden's day finally comes to an end. Finishing 7th in the pod.
Guy. What a week.
Yeah.
And Connor Levitt. Look at that.
Start
crazy
on a string of wins and use those bonus points for sure.
There's nothing bad in there, right?
No, nothing bad.
And then we'll go to our top 4.
This is the fun one to make because then your name goes on one of the pods next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the motivation, eh?
It's pretty cool the next year to see your name on it.
It's fun.
Will not winning this pod, finishing third. Two wins in the third.
He was sitting in really good position, and then he obviously really struggled the last game.
The 177.
Yeah.
I played him in Regina, kind of like at the end of the day. I think it was in the 4s, maybe, or the 8s. I can't remember. And it kind of felt like the same. Like he just like he's so good the whole tournament, and then he just hits that wall, and it kind of, it's like he saves all the crappy stuff for one game, and unfortunately it caught him both times. But like his start was so good.
He's unreal, man. It's just so consistent. There's not a whole lot that goes wrong. It's he's got a good brain. He's going to be unreal, man. He already is unreal. It's good. He's going to give you a run for your money, Ty. It's going to be you and him battling for a long time.
100%.
It's pretty cool to see.
Ty winning the pod with only one win, but a big 389.
Yeah,
I coasted that. I was like, okay, it's only 3 games. Just start with a good one.
Connor with 2 wins, 3 solid games, gets the second spot. Lonnie, 1 win, kind of a slow start, and then just solid last 2, but not enough.
Not quite enough.
You know, I did. We did that live commentary for, which is hopefully going to be on Rogers. But we got to do some interviews in between, and it was Lonnie's turn, and I went, "Hey, Lonnie, like, let's go do an interview out there." And he goes, "I'm just on cloud 9 right now." And the look on his face, and he said it, and I looked at him, it's like, "Are you high?" And he goes, "No. I'm just like, I just can't believe I'm here. I just can't believe I'm in the Final Four. Like, I just found a way to do it." And like, I think the round before,
he started struggle, like didn't win a whole lot of matches, and then he had that huge like 5-game block. Like I think he was 15-20 or something for his last 5.
Yeah, he won his last 5, and he snuck in by like 5 or something, like real tiny. And he had to it was pretty crazy how he did it. But it was just so cool seeing how like legitimately happy and like proud he was. Because I mean, Lonnie's a really humble dude, and he wasn't gonna say he was proud, but you could see it. You could see how happy he was actually being there. It was that was a cool moment. It was nice having that chat with him because it obviously meant a ton to him. It was neat.
Yeah. And then obviously our finals, Mr. Tyler Titkat, 310 finish to 248 for Connor. Amazing bowling, man.
Awesome.
It was crazy.
Played so good.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, like obviously the first 3 pods were all 22s with the bonus points, so I knew I was playing well. And then started out good in the pod of 8, and then Brandon and Will had that like 380 to 390 match, and I was like, ooh, okay, that's dangerous. Like even the person who lost that match is gaining points on the field here probably. And then I started losing matches, which was like a little frustrating, but I was still bowling okay. I was shooting like 270, 260, whatever. And then I had the 203, and I went from like 4th, 3rd,
7th
to 7th. And that's when I was like, that's dumb. You should not drop that many spots in one game. Like, get your crap together. I took a little walk, had a moment, said some words, but came back and was like, if you want to move on, you need to win these next 2 games, and you gotta bowl good. And then changed balls, and found the side of the middle instead of the front.
Yep. And it was Freight Train after that.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think it was 11. I can't remember. I know I had 774 for 2. And then I shot a 389. What is that? 1163 for 3. And one of those obviously came in like the pot of 4. And I've been in the pot of 4 before, so I know that first game plays a huge role in determining who's on to the final. So I was like, if I can just keep that momentum going, knowing that I was playing that first game on the lane that I just come off throwing a 370 on, I was like, throw the same shot, make it work. And I was, fortunate enough to get like the 380 plus the bonus 50. And then a 280 against Will, he won, but I think like 280 is not a bad game. It's not going to hurt, especially when over on the other side, both of those players had lost. Like Lonnie and Connor had both lost their first match. So I was like, I'm not losing that many sticks anyways. And then I knew because Connor ended up winning, that he had to play Will. So I'm like, again, either one there is going to take 50 off the other person. So as long as I don't crap the bed, like I'm probably okay. So it was just kind of throwing a half decent shot and like conserving energy until the last one.
Yeah.
What's the difference between 2024 and 2017?
Carrie got old. That's a difference. Didn't have to play you in the finals.
The only way I stay relevant is going back to the past.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that final that I played against you in 2017 was my like first big moment ever in my like adult career per se. I'd made a few cuts before, but I'd never been anywhere close to winning an event.
This was your third finals this year.
Yeah, it was. And so I don't know, it was like in that moment I just was like, oh my god, I made it. Like I was just hoping I didn't throw like a $190. I think they were still doing like the Shaw filming too at that point. So it was like there was the TV and it's just like, oh god, please don't embarrass yourself. And then this
went quick too, from what I remember. Like it
really
was fast.
Yeah. And that was like, I didn't even know the format. I was like, I don't know if he has to beat me twice. I don't know if it's 3 games. I don't know what it was. So it did feel really fast, but I mean, we're also both very quick bowlers, so that probably didn't help. I mean, at least this year, Connor takes a little bit more time than I do on the lane.
He's got to get the wiggles in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This year was it. I mean, it obviously was in my mind, being up there, being like, oh God, maybe we should just hand over another title to someone else. Who doesn't love second place?
Did that play in your mind in this one? Did you think about that at all?
Oh, in the first 3 frames, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. You were like, I'm not going to let this happen again. I'm not.
Oh no, I was being an idiot, sitting there being like, oh God, you're going to lose again. Like this is another second place. Like, of course, here we go. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still really like in my head about the commentary and stuff. So I'm like sitting there. I can hear Carrie and Katie and Ryan, and I'm trying to ignore them. I know you guys are talking over there too, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, God, I wonder what they're saying. I wonder if they're talking about it. Like, oh man, that's probably the easiest thing to talk about right now. Like, and it's just in my brain the whole time. It's like, but then yeah, I finally like after the second headpin was like, okay, enough. Like, focus on bowling.
That's actually something. So this isn't it is the first time having 2 separate commentary crews doing 2 separate streams or post productions or whatever. How was that for you, knowing that there's a panel of 3 directly behind your lane talking about the match live, and then you have a panel of 3 sitting up on a stage talking about the exact same thing? Like that's 6 people commenting on the exact same stuff going on. Like that's a lot of extra whatever you want to call it, sensory, right? Like that's a lot of stuff going on.
I think for me, like with WCBT's stream being like right behind the lanes, I could hear you guys a little bit more. It wasn't like loud or obnoxious, like not when I was on the lane, but when I was sitting in the chair. But I knew the cameras were rolling for the other stream, and they were like, it was live on the TV screen right above me. And that's what threw me off more, because I personally wanted to just like walk away. And I know I could have, like no one would have said anything, but I don't know. I just felt like almost obligated to kind of sit there. So that was like, I've caught myself like watching that screen a lot. And like anytime that I threw a ball, I would come back and like waiting for the pins to reset. I'm like watching myself on the TV. It was so dumb. It was like rookie mistakes.
You
it was
won,
really
man.
nice. I did. Yeah. But like, I was at least self-aware enough to acknowledge it in like the third frame. It wasn't like like I was in the match and I said, "Why are you watching the TV screen?" Like when you're on the lane, you need to focus on bowling. When you're sitting in the chair, you can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But as soon as I got on the lanes, I knew like, okay, you need to like focus on hitting your mark, keep your attention out on the lane. And then that's kind of when like I threw the 4-bagger, which like was obviously the big swing of the match. And then I threw the corner and I was like, wait, I want to go see the replay. I thought that was a good ball. So then I was like hurrying back to the TV and I was like, I want to see, I want to see, I want to see.
That's a great question from Steve Barker. Does that change your mind knowing what the commentary is about, what they're probably talking about?
I think a little bit. But I think a lot of that comes from like personal insecurities and like, I don't know. I'm always a little self-conscious of like, God, I wonder what people are saying. And then, yeah, like having done commentary, I know you guys are talking about me. Like, you're not going to be sitting there talking about something else. Obviously, there's a match happening at hand. So,
well, with ROC on, you never know.
True. You could be talking about Coors Light and how he still needs a sponsorship.
And you know that both those streams are going to be completely different. Like,
yeah,
at least the 5-pin universe one sitting in behind, it can be a little bit derailed. You know, you have a little bit more free reign to say what you want. The other one on the other side is going to be like a little bit more professional, but you just have no idea what either of them are actually saying.
For sure. And like, yeah, I would say Greg Gigluck being on the commentary was a little bit more intimidating because he's such like an idol, especially here in Alberta. So that's someone that you're like, in those first few frames, you're like, oh God, I hope I throw some strikes and like impress him and give him good things to say. But yeah, I'd say for me, like the biggest difference was like versus the first few times that I played on camera, I'm better at self-awareness with it and being like, okay, you're thinking about it while you're on the lane. It's okay to think about it back here, but once you get on the lanes, you need to turn your brain around. So I think that's kind of what's changed for me since we've had more like on screen filmed recorded bowling, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's for sure.
There's a lot of lessons to be heard in like the things that you have said. One, starting in like 2017, you're like, please just don't make a fool of yourself. But like that's a lot of people that go through that thought process, right? And it's just not a successful thought process. It's not. Like we've talked about a lot. So you cannot play scared. You cannot play scared. You cannot play afraid to fail. You need to go out there and play to win, right? So that's a great lesson for all the listeners out there right there, is that you can't have that thought process. And then this one where it's like, okay, we got to get the thoughts back to execution and not all the outside noise that's happening too, right? So really, really big things to take away from that monologue.
Yeah, for sure. We would be remiss if we didn't approach the WCBT points now that the season is officially kind of wrapped up. Tyler, player of the year, number one.
Absolute runaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after Regina, like Miller commented and it's like, oh, well, there's no way you don't win it now. And I was like, like that's not necessarily true. Like both you and Derek, I'm assuming, are planning on playing Red Deer. Like either of them has an opportunity to go to Red Deer and play just as well. But this has been a goal of mine since I've been a member. I didn't really know too much about it my first season. So like I was in the top 4, but I didn't know that there was like an extra award for it per se.
Right.
And then not last season, but I think the season before that, I was sitting in first. And then Mitch ended up catching me with his win at Regina. And that one, like, it definitely stung a little bit because I did not play well in Red Deer, and I knew that was my opportunity to like make up some points. So yeah, this year it definitely was a goal, especially after starting out so strong at both like Autumn Open and TPC. And same with like the 5-pin universe points too, right? Like that's something that I use as a motivator to stay in those top numbers.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you reminded me about that because I don't think I've updated 5-pin universe rankings. Wow. After Youth Challenge Nationals. Mark Miller, second. Derek Holm, third. Brandon Mansell, fourth. All four of those guys getting the buys in the tour finals. And then we got Timmy making fifth off his TPC win and a great Regina showing. Matt Harms, obviously, is second place in the Manitoba Open. Held him in there. He had obviously a good finish at TPC. Tyler McLean, solid season. He played really good.
Yeah, all the way through.
Mark Johnstone having a really good season. Obviously, top 4 at TPC, and then the Heritage Cut, making it to the 16s. Parker Anderson with a win at Regina Classic. Len Anseth having a solid season. Dwayne Gilardi, solid season, but a really good finish at Regina Classic, held him in there. And Sylvain was just solid. And shout out to Cody Steer, had 145 points. He played 3 events. His second at the TPC, right?
Yeah.
Was his 145 points. Unfortunately, he was unable to scoop up any other points, just missing out by 4.5 points.
Crazy.
Yeah, you need a deep run to make tour finals. Obviously, that's kind of a foregone conclusion, but you also need to be consistent as well. One good finish won't get you in, right?
Yeah, unless you win.
Is the cut higher or lower than last year?
It is higher by 12.5 points.
Ooh, interesting.
Actually, let's take a look at that. We can. Oh no, that's tour points.
Dun, dun, dun.
They're here somewhere. Just give me a second. Nope, I lied. I'll have to find them. I usually have them.
Wow.
Point.
At least it's not me stumbling around anymore. Who built this website? Come on.
Yeah, fair. Past WCPT points. Here we go.
You're doing great.
Crushing it. Share this tab. The website's just loading. Sorry. I'm pretty sure it was like 130 some points was the cut last year.
It was higher than that. I could be delusional. I don't really pay attention to results, so I could actually be delusional.
Wow, look how slow this bar is.
That's that wonk Wi-Fi.
Let's go.
I'm going to find it on my phone here faster than you.
Mike, it was 3 because it was still Manitoba Open was still last year. Oh, failed to load
last year 12th was 165 points.
Oh, so this year was lower.
Yeah, there you go.
I was right.
You were right.
Just glad to know.
Dementia, man. Crazy. Dementia's kicking in.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough.
Alzheimer's a good look on you.
There we go. Who knew? Ty did. Yeah.
Just another win, Carrie. Just another win. Just kidding.
Man, I'm glad I beat you down when you were younger, because it is impossible now.
Keep me humble.
Well, what else do we want to talk about?
Anyone checked in on Kathy? She's still alive?
Yeah. Yeah, Kathy, please update us.
7:42 was her last check-in.
I don't like that. Should we talk about Pro League? I know also my team, but
yeah. Congratulations to Next Gen on their win. Again, it takes you guys 3 tries in the finals, but it seems to be your trend this year, Tyler.
Yeah. Why not? A huge shout out to Julie Arabko. She was stellar on Monday. I think she shot like 3-0 the first game and then 340 game 2.
40.
Like,
awesome.
when you when you have that one person that's just like, it just looks so easy and they're locked in and you're just like, yeah, so easy to play on a team with her.
Obviously you guys beat the Dakota Dynamite in the final. Dakota
Yeah.
obviously having a great season. We kind of looked at, I'll see if I can bring that up here. It's posted on the website. But you guys were really consistent, like in your
Our team totals.
yeah, like, so if we go to, let's present this.
I think that was like the scariest part for us playing Dakota, is we knew that we had been consistent all season. Like, we played well. We were throwing good scores, but we knew that Dakota could shoot those huge, like 1480s, 1500s at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of the nerve-wracking side of it, playing a team like that.
Yeah, because you guys had 1379, 1365, obviously both for 7 points, but even the previous round, 1380,
Yeah.
14-0, both for 7s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's
And
the
I think
number, guys. Shoot for 1400s, and you're going to take 7s.
Yeah.
This is very reminiscent of Open Provincials at Bonnie Doon, where it was like, guess we have to shoot 1390.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Des and I were kind of reviewing this season, and our team average in the regular season, I think, was 1420.
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken. Sorry, we were averaging a lot of things, one of which being the team age. 27, in case anyone's wondering.
Nope, nobody was. You could have kept that information to yourself.
Oh, I mean, Maddie really brought us down. 21.
Yeah, trade off.
Our team average for the regular season was 14-15. So yeah, we kind of just were like, I always go back to like our first match of the year in like the post-game interview. Des was just like, it feels different. Like, our first 2 seasons, they felt good. Like, we felt like a good team, a strong team. But just after that first match, you could tell that there was like no pressure on the team at all. There was no expectations. No one was trying to like be the hero. And it just stuck. Everything was so easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. At any point in this game, you're just looking for something that just feels easy, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it feels easy, it's over.
Yeah.
Not to drop this conversation, but I kind of want to go back to Len Anseth's question about the Beef Bowl joining the tour. So last year they didn't meet the minimum entry requirement for the WCBT. So there is some minimum requirements that need to be met before the WCBT can vote on the tournament. They were very close, so we are helping promote and push them this year. I think they'll be a tour stop easily. We just need the people to support the tournament, and then they'll move in.
Yeah, support and then pass the vote, and then
yeah.
Based on how close they were last year, I think there won't be an issue this year at all. And then it's just about repeating that. And I think, WCBT is only looking to grow, and as much as we all start this podcast saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're still bowling," like, we all want to see them join the tour. So
absolutely,
I think the community will step up this year for sure. And
by all accounts, everything I heard was it was an absolute blast.
So
it's unreal, man.
Yeah.
Just the center is unbelievable. Obviously, the Deering's running it is going to be top notch just because they are so bowling forward themselves. But all the extra effort they put into the just the recreation events around it, it was unreal.
So good. And it's a great location. Like, we talk about Red Deer being so convenient and Regina being so convenient because there's hotels across the road. It's the same thing in Medicine Hat. There's like 4 or 5 hotels across the highway. There's an Econo Lodge right behind the bowling alley.
Yeah,
right
in the same parking lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so good. So we hope for the best for them. They're in September again. Obviously, there will be lots of posts going on about them. And yes, ROC, we would be remiss without giving John Cowan his dues. Quebec Classic champion. We will probably look to have John on in a future podcast here. We just wanted to give Heritage its due since they are part of the WCBT. But yeah, we will be checking in with John here.
Yeah, won't be next week. Next week we're looking at doing a YBC one. Catch up on. We're just behind. The ladies podcast
Shocker.
really screwed us up.
But they had Diamond Ladies, so like,
Yeah.
No,
or did they
didn't
finish
they-
Diamond Ladies before? Oh no, they
Yeah.
did Open last week. That's right.
Yeah.
They did open.
So
They didn't do Diamond. They did a pre-Diamond Ladies. They didn't do an after because I'm like, nobody talks
That's
about
correct.
Katie wedding. But yeah, they did a pre, but no follow up.
So YBC, so we
Um,
did this one, YBC next week, and then we'll see YBC Nationals next week, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. We'll look to wrap up this podcast. Obviously, if you guys don't know, 5-Pin Universe is hosting the virtual Youth Challenge Nationals Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 streams. Go to our website at 5pinuniverse.ca, click the YC National link, and you'll see all the provincial links for their matches. Lots of work behind the scenes, and we hope we can give them their justice for the event that they're going to put on in spite of not being an in-person national this season. But I know moving forward, we've had lots of talks. This is not the end goal. They are looking to get back to personal nationals. So please don't take this as this is the way bowling is going. It is not.
No.
And one thing for the people listening, every bowling ball is recorded at this national, which is the first time ever.
Yeah, it'll be nice. Every kid will get its shout out. Every kid will have his moment in the spotlight. So despite, obviously this isn't the solution that everybody wants, and that's understandable in many ways. There are a lot of pros to this too. And it'll be really cool to give all those athletes their 15 minutes of fame.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah, sure, they're not getting the kids all together so they can meet each other and stuff like that. But at least every bowling ball will be recorded. Something they can look back on or choose to ignore if it's not the way they wanted to go down. That's up to them.
Yep.
Check out Stream 3. It's going to be the best. That's fine.
On Saturday. Once again, I can't thank everybody enough for helping out 5-Pin Universe to do this, and we hope we do it justice and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
with that being said, I think that's a wrap, eh?
See ya.
Can you do the outro?
That's a lot.
I got it.
All right, we'll see you guys all next
Yeah,
week
next
or
week.
on this weekend, or when we see you, we see you.
Yeah. Also, I imagine there'll be some open bowling happening before we talk to people next Wednesday. Does it start on Wednesday next week, the open?
They fly out Tuesday.
I think it starts on Wednesday. I don't know.
Oh, single
Tyler,
champion.
you're in it.
I
Jesus.
don't look at things. I'm really nervous being the single because I don't have a coach to tell me when I need to be there.
You need an adult. You need an adult.
I do need an adult. Anyways, yeah, probably starts Wednesday.
Yeah, it starts Wednesday. So we will be talking to the YBC kids at the night of the open first day. So good luck to all those going to the open.
Yeah. Good luck. Congrats again, Tyler.
The adult
All of us-
says it starts on Wednesday.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, perfect. He is an adult.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
Guys.
Thanks, everybody.